What they don't tell you about emotional intelligence. We are a generation of emotional slaves. Welcome, my name is Lara. They say emotional intelligence is the key to success. Those who master it are said to communicate well, handle conflict effectively, and succeed both at work and in life. But the reality we live in is very different. In truth, we have become a generation of emotional slaves. We've learned to suppress our feelings, and instead of experiencing them, we've learned to perform them. Emotions as a performance. Most people think emotional intelligence means controlling your emotions, especially at work. Smiling when someone disrespects you, nodding when you're tired, saying I'm fine even when you're boiling inside. And that's exactly the problem. Authentic emotions have become a performance. We've turned humanity into productivity. Zuzana's story. How a person becomes an actor. Zuzana works in a corporate environment. Every Monday, there's a team meeting. Over the weekend, her boss sent her messages demanding answers. Instead of resting, she felt overwhelmed and stressed. On Monday morning, she puts on makeup, puts on a smile, and walks into the room. I've got this. Sure, no problem. Let's do it. But inside, she's exploding. And yet she keeps performing, because that's what she's been taught. That's what they call professionalism. The real problem, emotional labor, is draining us. This type of behavior has a technical name, emotional labor. It's the performance of emotions we don't actually feel, just to meet social or professional expectations. Researchers have found that this type of performance drains the brain faster than physical labor. And we do it every day. In meetings, in communication with clients, even at home. The worst part? We teach our children to do the same. Be strong, smile, be polite. These phrases sound innocent. But in reality, we teach our children the same things we do. Hide what you feel. Stop being yourself. Act out what we want to see. And so a new generation grows up, not stronger, but disconnected from their own emotions. True emotional intelligence. The difference between acting and awareness. Emotional intelligence is not suppression. It's not performance. It's not a mask. It is the ability to recognize what I feel, name it, accept it, choose how to respond, authentically and with respect. How could Zuzana have responded differently? Instead of acting, she could have taken 3 simple steps. I feel anger and exhaustion because I didn't have a weekend. I'm not weak. I'm just a person who needs boundaries. I can handle the project, but today I need a bit of space, and I would appreciate it if weekends could be left for rest. This is how a mature person behaves, not a robot, not an actor. A study from Taiwan, published in 2022 in the journal Healthcare, found that healthcare professionals engaged in so-called surface acting, suppressing their real emotions and performing others, showed significantly higher levels of emotional exhaustion and anxiety. The risks of long-term emotional performance and unexpressed emotions include burnout, increased anxiety, health problems, reduced job satisfaction, and motivation. A solution for intense emotions. Mishal's story. Mishal works as the head of logistics in a medium-sized company. He is responsible for many people, deadlines, and endless emails. During one particularly difficult week, a mistake landed on his shoulders that he didn't even cause. Yet management demanded an explanation and an immediate solution. That day, when anger piled up in the office, he felt like breaking something. He responded politely, acted professionally, but inside he was boiling. He got into his car, slammed the door, turned on music, and the moment he was alone, he screamed like never before. He wasn't yelling at anyone. He was yelling for himself. Yelling from within. He didn't need an audience. He needed to release the pressure his body could no longer hold. After 5 minutes of silence, he just sat and breathed. And for the first time that day, he felt present again, like himself again. He didn't break anything. He didn't hurt anyone. But he allowed himself to be human. And that's the point. To find a space where you can express what you feel without censorship, without a mask, and without an audience. Maybe it's your car. Maybe the forest. maybe an empty room. It's not weakness. It's not failure. It's maintenance of your mental balance. Be strong. Smile. Be polite. Maybe you say these phrases too. Maybe you heard them as a child. They sound innocent, even educational. But if we look closer, what are we actually saying? When a child cries and we say be strong, we teach them that expressing pain is weakness. When they get angry and we tell them to smile, we teach them that their anger is unwanted. And when we say behave nicely, even when they feel injustice, we teach them that obedience is more important than truth. In reality, we are not saying develop your emotional intelligence, but rather hide what you feel. Stop being yourself. Act out the version we want to see. And now imagine what happens when these phrases are repeated for years. We don't raise strong children. We raise children who are disconnected from themselves. Children who one day become adults like us. Tired, exhausted from performing their whole lives instead of truly living. So the question is not what we say to children. The question is what kind of person we want to grow within them. A practical solution, the 3-minute emotional pause. Every day, ask yourself 3 simple questions. What am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling it? How can I express it honestly and respectfully? These 3 minutes can change your day, and maybe even your relationships. Conclusion: will we still feel or just perform? By the year 2030, we may look back and realize that this was the era when we almost forgot how to be human. But today, you have a choice. Will you keep performing your emotions, or will you choose to feel them again and truly live?